Still, when you look at Ford and GM and you compare them with Tesla and NIO, I know people will look at this and they'll say, oh, they're flatlining. They're not doing anything. Sure, they're not getting the same move as far as the stocks that you're seeing with Tesla and NIO, but they're not sitting still. I mean, what you're seeing with both GM and Ford is a true plan for moving forward with EVs as quickly as possible. For General Motors, it comes down to this. They've got the Cadillac Lyriq. That's an all-electric vehicle. That's going to be coming out in the next year and a half or so. The GMC Hummer, which had its big unveiling, if you will. And yesterday, they said, look, we're hiring another 3,000 workers. They're going to be working in electric vehicles and our development of software as a service. So it's not just that we're making these. We want to make money, a continued revenue stream from those electric vehicles.
Hey, I'm Stephen, and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So some enormous news from some of the legacy automakers yesterday. Brachiosaurus and Triceratops. Hang on, that's not their names, is it? Ford and GM discussing a little bit more about their plans to go all in-ish, kind of slightly, maybe a little bit later, but at least taking one step forward towards electrification. So let's get into the video. But first, hey guys, if you're in the US and you'd like 3 free stocks, yes, 1, 2, 3 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. Open a new account and fund it with $100 and you'll get 3 free stocks, 2 of them valued up to $1,600. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it.
Check out Ford shares jumping on news that the company is hiring workers to ramp up its electric vehicle efforts. Phil LeBeau joins us now with the very latest, and it's not just Ford, it's GM too.
Yeah, Melissa, what you're seeing is Ford and GM have both said we're making a concerted effort to A, put the manufacturing in place for electric vehicles, and B, roll out the models. We'll hear more from Ford later this week with the e-Transit van. But the announcement today is that they're going to be pumping another $100 million into their plant in Kansas City, adding 150 jobs. That's the plant where they're going to be building the e-Transit van. It's a commercial van. Look, the Transit and the Transit Connect have been wildly popular, not only here in the U.S., but also in Europe. And so when you look at Ford's game plan, it basically comes down to this. The Mustang Mach-E, and we're going to start to see more about this over the next several weeks as deliveries begin later this year. You've got the e-Transit van. That comes out at the end of 21.
Now, although Ford is extraordinarily late to the party, better late than never, right? And I have to give credit where it's due. The idea of electrifying the Transit van is actually very smart. For one, it's unlikely to scare off their existing customers who like to drink gasoline for breakfast because electricity is for morons. And commercial customers are far more likely to be buying with their brains rather than their emotions, meaning they really care about things like total cost of ownership and running costs, which are far, far cheaper on electric vehicles than internal combustion engine vehicles. So, smart play on Ford's part. The only area I can fault them, they should have been doing this 10 or 15 years ago. Oh well, what are you going to do? There is great opportunity ahead of Ford, however, because Tesla has yet to release their van, which we know is coming. And by the way, if you haven't seen my video on the enormous opportunity that presents, check out the card in the corner. As I said at the time, Tesla's secret van, which is now not really a secret, will make billions. And I'm not f***ing around. The sooner somebody like Ford can get a decent electric van into the marketplace, the better.
And then the all-electric F-150. That's the big push for Ford when that comes out. And you're going to start to hear more about that over the next year. Still, when you look at Ford and GM and you compare them with Tesla and NIO, I know people will look at this and they'll say, oh, they're flatlining. They're not doing anything. Sure, they're not getting the same move as far as the stocks that you're seeing with Tesla and NIO, but they're not sitting still.
Bill is right here. They're not standing still. They've just been moving at the pace of a sloth for the last decade or so. In fact, here's some footage I captured recently of Ford in action.
I mean, what you're seeing with both GM and Ford is a true plan for moving forward with EVs as quickly as possible. For General Motors, it comes down to this. They've got the Cadillac Lyriq. That's an all-electric vehicle. That's going to be coming out in the next year and a half or so. The GMC Hummer, which had its big unveiling, if you will.
If you haven't already seen my reaction to the EV Hummer reveal, please check it out. I highly recommend it, but if you don't have the time, here's the short version. It's vaporware, it's meaningless, it's a low volume vehicle, the specs are shite, the pricing's terrible, and unless you're Doug DeMuro, who for some reason seemed to be completely and utterly detached from reality when sharing his thoughts on the Hummer EV. I mean, shout out Doug, what the f*** are you actually thinking, dude? Like, Nothing personal, but I've seen your review of the Cybertruck and I've now seen your review of the EV Hummer. There's something broken with your reasoning faculties. Comments about the price, the range of the Cybertruck, it won't compete, it's too expensive, the specs aren't that great. Meanwhile, the Hummer with worse specs and twice the price is the best thing ever in the truck to beat. Like, I got to call a spade, dude. I mean, what is this horse shit? Did you change your mind? Or were you just so excited that you got early access to the Hummer EV that you just needed to do a little bit of this one to make sure that these ones keep coming? See what I did there? Coming? Oh, that's disgusting. Anyway, let's move on from that.
During the World Series, and we'll hear more about that over the next year. And then they've got 20 EV models by 2023.
And I wonder how many of those 20 electric vehicles won't suck shit. I really think that the traditional automakers should have taken the Tesla approach, get one great vehicle as a platform and then diversify from there and adapt that platform rather than spreading yourself so thin and trying to cater to everybody. Why would you release 20 turds when you can just release one great vehicle, get people on board with the fact that you can make an electric vehicle that doesn't suck harder than a vacuum, and then use that platform to spread out and diversify into other vehicles?
And yesterday, they said, look, we're hiring another 3,000 workers. They're going to be working in electric vehicles and our development of software as a service. So it's not just that we're making these. We want to make money, a continued revenue stream from those electric vehicles.
Now, this is enormous news. Admittedly, General Motors are pretty late to the party. This is a model that Tesla's had for some time. It's been obviously the future of transportation, but it is a step in the right direction. However, I can't help but feel this is kind of like your grandpa releasing a rap album. Good luck, Gramps.
So both GM and Ford, and both of the stocks have moved higher along with the rest of the market this week. And I know people at home will say, yeah, but they're not doing what Tesla and what NIO are doing.
Oh, here we go again. Yeah, just group NIO and Tesla together like they're equivalent companies. Okay, cool. Now, look, I know a lot of you guys are very interested in my thoughts on NIO. I wish them all the best. They have an interesting business model. They could be highly successful. But it seems to me that about 95% of NIO's current market capitalization isn't based on the company themselves. It's based on people who look at Tesla, see what the stock did and think, oh shit, I missed the opportunity. Where's the next Tesla? Where's the next Tesla? And of course, on CNBS, they hear of this company, NIO. Oh, NIO. Yeah, that's the next Tesla. NIO's the next Tesla. I'm going to buy NIO. Well, I'm going to leave you guys with a prediction. History may prove me to be incorrect, a rare event, but it could happen. But here's my prediction. If you were to buy Tesla stock today, or NIO stock today, I suggest that in 2030, there's better than even odds that you'll have seen higher percentage growth on Tesla stock than you will have on NIO. Now, this isn't a prediction that's actually likely to bear out. I've got no freaking idea what will actually happen. But just based on what I know today and my understanding of Tesla's business model and NIO's business model, I am willing to put it on the record.
Look, they're moving forward. That is at least a step in the right direction for these guys and for these stocks.
And it might not be the same audience either that they're going after. I mean, it's not to say that one
Right.
wins at the other's expense at this point in time.
Correct. And remember, when you look at Ford with the E-Transit, they're going after the commercial customer. Right. And they believe that electric vehicles will take off with commercial customers much faster than it will with, you and I, the retail customer who might go out to a dealership or order one through an automaker.
Allow me to rephrase that. Shitty EVs will do well commercially because commercial buyers care less if they're buying a steaming pile of shit as long as it does the things that it must do. Retail consumers are a little bit more discerning. They care a little bit more about things like performance, safety, styling, features, these kind of things. So yes, I think Ford has a good strategy here. They can make a half-decent van and it'll probably sell very well to commercial customers. If they make a half-decent EV targeted solely at consumers, however, Tesla is going to continue to eat their breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
All right, Phil, thank you. Phil LeBeau in Chicago for us. We have been talking about a potential re-rating of some of these auto stocks for quite some time, and here we are. It continues, Tim. You've been a big fan of this, and if we could get a little bit of the valuation of a Tesla or NIO into these stocks, you're looking for a big ride here.
Now, before we cut to Tim's comments around Tesla, just in terms of credibility, as far as I'm aware, Tim has been short Tesla basically from day one. In fact, here's something that occurred a few months ago when they were discussing Tesla after the stock had run maybe 8 to 10 times within a 12-month period. Melissa cutting to Tim just to ask Tim, are you still short Tesla? And of course, we can see a bit of PTSD start to stir on Tim's face, in my opinion. You be the judge.
From the bull, we go to the bear. Tim, you still short?
I'm sorry, I think you were calling on me. Look, I think, again...
Just wanted to show that for a little bit of context. Maybe we can deduce a few things about Tim's credibility when he's discussing Tesla, given the fact that he's been plain fucking wrong about the company and lost enormous amounts of money in the process. So maybe that could cloud his judgment. Maybe his judgment was clouded prior to shorting Tesla. Maybe a combination of the two. So let's see what Tim had to say about Tesla, GM, Ford, and the future of electric vehicles. Oh, Tim.
Yeah, and another big difference between GM and Tesla is GM's profitable.
Well, it's good to know that Tim's up to date, and certainly he must be getting his information from a genius investor. Maybe it's Gordon Johnson, maybe Mark Spiegel, maybe Chanos, I don't know. But obviously, Tesla clearly didn't make an $809 million profit last quarter. Tesla clearly didn't make a $327 million profit the quarter prior, and definitely didn't make a $283 million profit the quarter prior, and certainly didn't make a $359 million profit the quarter before that, and obviously didn't make a $261 million profit the quarter prior to that. Thanks for letting us know, Tim, that Tesla's not profitable. You still short Tesla, Tim?
Yeah, and another big difference between GM and Tesla is GM's profitable. They had a record quarter. Again, a record quarter on EPS the last quarter in very difficult conditions. They'll probably be cash flow positive in 2020 in a ridiculously difficult operating environment. But right, at $6.25 a share, roughly 2021, if you put a 10 times multiple on it, that's easy math. Look, the fact that GM has been working in autonomous for years, but only now you're learning about it. News in the last 24 hours also that Walmart will be working with GM to at least test out autonomous deliveries for Walmart. The dynamics around Nikola or not is validation for not only their battery technology, but also the fact that they have been investing in this space for a long, long time. This is a company that's proven how to win in difficult environments.
Well, credit where it's due. Tim's made an excellent point here. GM certainly do know how to win in a difficult environment. I quote, "On June 1st, 2009, General Motors filed for bankruptcy in New York with $82 billion in assets and $173 billion in liabilities. It was the largest industrial bankruptcy in history." Slow clap for Tim there. Good point, mate. Excellent point, Tim. Well done. Tim, you're very smart. You still short?
This is a company that's proven how to win in difficult environment, and again, a profitable company. So it's never going to get anything close to a Tesla multiple, but this stock's going a lot higher because, again, the Hummer's sold out. All of these different models are exciting, creating a buzz, and there's a lot of people that would much rather buy a GM.
In fairness to Tim, I believe he does have a point. There are people out in the marketplace who'd much rather buy a GM than a Tesla. Just like there's still people out in the stock marketplace who are still buying GM stock over Tesla stock. Each to their own.
Pete, I'm going to go to you. I'm going to give yourself a chance to redeem yourself because in the last segment, you used the whiteboard very poorly by not actually saying whether you would buy Tim's fast picture. You had all sorts of words and bullet points. But, okay, so.
It was way too much.
Would you rather Tesla or GM?
Yeah. Oh boy, that's a tough one. Right now, I own GM calls, and Tim was just talking about for all the right reasons. I mean, in October, Mel, this is a $30 stock, and now here we are above $41, and they continue to buy upside calls. Matter of fact, today they were buying out in March. They were going for the 55 calls. The problem I have, if you want to compare those two, the would you rather, I'd still have to go to Tesla. I continue to see the growth there and the potential there and the data that they've collected and all of the different sides of it that I still think it's a tech company more than it is a car company. So if you're going to put me in that box, I'm going to go Tesla.
I have to give some credit to Pete here. If memory serves, he's actually been pretty close on Tesla. He's been recommending the stock as a buy. He's seeing a lot of potential and he understands the opportunity, which is more than I can say for certain other members of this particular panel. Now, in totally unrelated matters, I just stumbled across this thread on Twitter very recently. Some guy called Gordon Genius Johnson here. "Guys, you're doing God's work. Keep it up." Reply by some random person named Tim Seymour. That definitely must be a coincidence. Clearly not the same guy. "Indeed, Gordon, as are you on Tesla," suggesting that Gordon Johnson is doing God's work on Tesla stock. Let's continue to scroll. Tim Seymour says, again, this is definitely not the same Tim Seymour. Nobody would be that silly to be posting this stuff publicly while people know that they're short the company. "I do believe it, and it comes from the top over there. We know that. The irony of the tree huggers being more aggressive than the ones they lament." I think tree huggers may be a little bit of a dig at Tesla supporters, just maybe. I mean, It's a weird, tree hugger. It's just kind of, do you get the feeling that maybe Tim has an oil-heavy portfolio of stocks? Just quietly, I'm just thinking out loud. Let's scroll a little bit more. What else? Ooh, this is interesting. Lemmings are a unique breed of Kool-Aid drinkers. Ah, that's right. So Tim Seymour, if you're watching this video, don't take anything personal. I'm just a deluded Lemming. I drank the Kool-Aid. It's nothing personal. I'm not trying to mock you for being completely wrong about your Tesla stock position. I'm not trying to laugh at you for being short Tesla stocks still to this day, as far as I understand. I'm not trying to mock you at all. I've just drank the Kool-Aid. I'm a Lemming and I have no idea what I'm talking about. So please, don't take it personally. You still short Tesla, Tim? Wait, what was the point of this video again? Oh, that's right. Ford and GM are finally taking the baby steps they needed to be taking about 10 years ago. I still think they're more than likely headed for bankruptcy by the end of this decade, but they are steps in the right direction. And of course, I also wanted to illustrate that within the mainstream finance media, there still appears to be a few people who don't quite seem to get it with Tesla. But that's okay. I'll still be here, Tim. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. If you're in the US and you'd like 3 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. Open a new account and fund it with $100 and you'll get 3 free stocks, 2 of them valued up to $1,600. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. PS, if you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.